Africa's most recent naval exercise was meant to be routine, but instead it turned into a political headache, with National Defence Minister Angie Motshekga at the centre of it all. So, what actually happened? Earlier this month, South Africa hosted a BRICS Plus naval exercise off the coast of Simonstown. Called Exercise Will for Peace 2026, the idea was simple enough: joint training and cooperation between navies and protecting key shipping routes in the Cape. But the problem? Iran. Iran is one of the newer members of the BRICS Plus grouping. However, according to reports, President Cyril Ramaphosa was pretty clear before the exercise began. Iranian warships were only supposed to attend as observers. This was to avoid inflaming tensions with the United States. But then, photos and eyewitness testimonies showed the Iranian vessels actively participating in the exercise. And that's when things started to unravel. Angie Motshekga responded by announcing a board of inquiry. This is to find out whether the president's instructions were simply ignored or misrepresented. On paper, that sounds like a decisive response. Politically, it didn't land well. Critics argue that the optics are terrible. The Defence Minister launching an inquiry into a situation her own department was responsible for. Analysts have been particularly blunt, noting that ministers are responsible for their own departmental operations, and that this failure falls squarely on her. Beyond Motshekga herself, the situation has raised concerns about civilian control within the military. If a presidential directive was really ignored, that's not just embarrassing, it's alarming. Then there's the international fallout. Iran is deeply controversial, particularly in the United States, which has been quick to accuse the country of violent internal repression. The United States has made it clear. South Africa's engagement with Iran sends a pretty troubling signal, whether intended or not. And South Africa's response to this? Non-alignment. Diplomatically, this basically means we're not picking a side, or we're friends with everyone. It also means that our foreign policy is guided by our own national interests, instead of blind loyalty to a global superpower. But critics argue that there is a difference between non-alignment and selective alignment. Although South Africa says it isn't choosing sides, its actions, like who it trains with and who they host, suggest a pattern. So who's going to pay the price? Angie Motshekga's political credibility is already taking a knock. But depending on what the inquiry finds, the fallout could spread much wider. What started as a naval drill has become a test about authority, accountability, and foreign policy. Want to know more? Visit explain.co.za.